Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. It's Wayward Stitcher here, and it's been a really long time, but I'm really excited to be back, and I'm really hoping that this time I'm here for good. I just want to blame COVID for my absence, and I'm sure that's the case for a lot of Flosstubers and people that do Instagram and all that kind of stuff. The last, 3/4 of a year or more or less that much has been really hard on, I'm sure, a lot of people. It's been not horrible for me. I'm one of the lucky ones, I didn't lose my employment. I actually gained employment during COVID. Financially we've been okay. So yeah, and I just, I'm just really fortunate that we're still in a very good position, where I know maybe some of you are not. Anyway, I'm here. Hopefully, this video can kind of help cheer you up. I don't know. I'm just really glad to be back, glad to be filming, glad to have a better camera. I invested in a brand new phone because I broke my iPhone. I dropped it while I was at work and completely shattered the screen, and it was due for an upgrade anyway, so I bought a Samsung 10, which is what I'm currently filming on. The camera is so much better on this phone. I'm so impressed, and it seems that it's giving the lighting situation an upgrade as well, so hopefully we have some really good lighting in here for when I show my projects. Because I know in the past that's been a really big problem for my videos, and it's been very frustrating for me to have to constantly be fighting with, should I have the light on? Should I have it off? Should I twist my phone or be in a different place? It seems really bright in here right now, and I kind of tested before I filmed how things show up on camera, and it seems really good. So hopefully we're on the right track with the new equipment. And speaking of new equipment, I did invest in a Samsung tablet as well, for pattern keeper for when I decide that I'm going to do my hades. I haven't worked on a hade in a really long time. I've been really focused on something else right now. I've had a couple of real focus projects right now, so I haven't really delved too deeply into my hades. But hopefully once the projects that I'm focusing on now are finished, I might jump back to that and really start a proper rotation and really swap things out and work hard on some of my other stuff. But yeah, so there's that. And let's see, what else have I been up to? My horseback riding. That's been going extremely well. And if you follow me on Instagram, you know that this past summer I was part of a showcase. I did 3 separate areas of the showcase. One was equitation, the other was trail riding, and the third one was horse masters. So for those of you that aren't really familiar with horse stuff, equitation is basically getting a horse to walk, trot, stop, all that kind of stuff on command when the instructor tells you to do that specific thing. So at least that's what it was for me when I did it. And I did okay. I placed 9th with my equitation, and I got a ribbon for that. So I'm really, really happy with that. And the trail riding, which was the easier part, which is, we were outdoors, going over wooden bridges, over logs, weaving around barrels, all that kind of stuff. And I got 8th with that, and so here's my ribbon for that. It's kind of, there we go, 8th. And then my horse masters, which is your horse knowledge, general horse, the body. I was tested on the horse body parts and the tack, like the parts of the saddle and the bridle. And I got 27 out of 30, which was really good. I was really impressed with myself for that. And here's my ribbon for that. So yeah, these ribbons are very special to me, very, I'm really hoping to soon get a shadow box or something of that kind to put these into, and to put some photos in and display these properly. in my bedroom so that I can see them all the time and that they're not in storage and that there's something that I can look at and feel proud of every day. Because for me, having anxiety, doing something like that, being filmed, having people watching me was very stressful. But to know that despite my anxiety and my stress levels and everything, that I did as well as I did, I'm very proud of that accomplishment. So yeah, but I also wanted to mention that if any of you want to follow my horseback riding stuff or just the horse stuff that I do in general, like my volunteering and all of that kind of stuff, I do have a separate Instagram account. It's riding adventures. Anyways, it's Ashley's.riding.adventures on Instagram. And in case for some reason I have that wrong, I'll display it here, or I'll put it in the description below. And you can go follow that if you're interested. But yeah, horseback's been going really well. We're still working towards cantering. I'm doing sitting trot right now, working with that. And my volunteering is basically bringing horses in and taking horses out to the paddock between lessons, and cleaning tack, sanitizing tack, all of that, because of COVID and stuff, obviously. But yeah, so that's what I've been up to. And my new job. I did get employed during COVID, which is really surprising considering, you know, the way things were for most places. We were very fortunate that our racetrack in town was able to open during the COVID stuff. At first, we did not have any people allowed on our property for the live races, like fans and stuff. We had to have people watch online. But like partway through the season, we were allowed to have like 100 people in our grandstand. So we managed that, and things for the year went really, really well. And I'm just very fortunate to work and earn money in a place where there's horses. It's really great. I'm still doing some minor work there for the winters, maintenance work and stuff like that, but the horse work is done for the year. So that's, I mean, that's sad, but it is what it is. And hopefully we'll be back in full swing next year. But it's COVID, so who really knows? But my job at the racetrack is, I'm the gate superintendent. So the main gate that we have at the racetrack is closed during the races, and then when the race is over, we open them to let the next riders train their horses between races. So that's my job, just to basically work that big metal gate. And so yeah, I've been very fortunate. Thankfully, the man who is now the manager of the raceway, I had a relationship with, not a relationship with, but like a business relationship with in the past. So he knew me and he was aware of my work ethic and stuff like that, and so offered me a job. So I'm very blessed to be there doing more work with horses, which is, you know, what I really want to be doing with my life now. That's the path that I want to be on. So, and I'm, you know, working really hard at trying to learn as much as I can over at Hope Haven, so that if the opportunity arises that I could, you know, work a bigger part-time job with horses, that I can do that. So yeah, I'm really excited, and I really hope that maybe this video I can add some photos. Maybe at the end of the video I can put some photos and video footage and that kind of stuff from, you know, my job at the racetrack and the farm over at Hope Haven. So, but I'll save that all until the end, so that if you don't want to see it, you don't have to sit through it in the middle of the video. It's at the end. But yeah, so that's that. And so without further ado, I guess we can get started on the cross-stitching stuff. I have a good amount of stuff here. Not as much as I was really hoping to have, but I have quite a bit of stuff. Some stuff from my last video you won't get to see because there's been no progress on it. I've got some new starts and some whips and like a lot of haul. For me, it's a lot of haul. I generally do not have this much, But I hit up a thrift store a couple of times, managed to get some good stuff there. I hit Stitch It Central in London, Ontario. So shout out to them. If you guys are in Ontario or anywhere near London, I would highly, highly, highly recommend going to their store. The staff there are amazing. And even during COVID, they were very helpful. They were very accommodating. We had to make an appointment to be able to go. And they gave us an hour to look around and to do whatever we wanted. And then partway through they said, you know, we actually don't have anyone else coming for a while, so you guys have the whole store, take your time. So there's a huge, I mean, for me, it's a huge amount of haul that came from there. I was so excited. It was the most amazing thing ever. I'd never been in an LNS like that before. Like, I've been in a Michaels and that kind of thing, so that's, you know, but to have an LNS, like to go in and to see all the fabrics and to be able to touch them with your hands, to see all the specialty flosses, to be able to touch them and look at them and look at all the, it was, I was super overwhelmed, like super overwhelmed. It was so exciting, and I cannot wait to go back there. I know my boyfriend's probably going to take me at some point, so I'm hoping, you know, in the next several months that we can make another trip up there and it'll be okay. Because it's, that store is amazing, amazing. And if you order from them online as well, customer service is superb. I've never had a problem with their customer service. They've always been super great. They'll call you if they ever have any questions. Like, they're just super good people. And honestly, they're like 5 stars for me, as far as, you know, experience goes, all across the board. They are fantastic, fantastic. So yeah, I've got this huge list of stuff here that we're going to talk about today. So I guess I should show you my finish. I have one finish from my last video, and that's it. One finish. And it is my Pokemon. The little one that I did the last time you guys saw. I was partially finished. It's not fully finished. I still have to back it with felt and put magnets on it, but it is finished. And that is my little cherub that I had done. And I had done this on the 14 count perforated plastic. The clear perforated plastic, not the white. And I made some color moderations. I can't really remember exactly what they were, but Cherub had some like bright orange in here that was really not appropriate for Cherub, so I swapped it out and made adjustments, and I think it looks perfect. I think it looks amazing the way it is. So this is my finish, my one and only finish from my last video. So yeah, and again, that the pattern I got for that was from birdiestitching.com. She has all sorts of Pokemon related sprites and stuff, patterns from video games and things like that. So I'll link that below as well, just in case you're curious. Okay, I'm just gonna mark some things off as we go, just so that I can keep myself organized. So, new starts. I'm gonna go with that first. So, one of my new starts, I think some of you are aware of it or have seen it. I'm hoping I have the pattern on my iPad, because if I don't, I'm going to be sad. And I cannot remember for the life of me whether I had shown this to you guys on, not last video, but the video before that. I really don't remember, and I didn't honestly go back and check. So I'm just going to take a peek here and see if I have it on my iPad. Here we go. Yes, I do have it on here. Okay, so for some of you, you may have seen this in one of my videos, and if you haven't, then it's a whole new start. But Captain America. from the CrossStitchSalon on Instagram. At least I'm pretty sure that's what she's calling herself now. I'm pretty sure it's the CrossStitchSalon on Etsy. I don't know why. I think I said Instagram. I meant Etsy. And so I had started Captain America. And I got a really decent chunk done on him as far as I'm concerned. I think I got, I don't know, two-thirds of a page done. So that is where I'm at with Captain America. I think the colors are coming along really well. And yeah, her patterns are amazing. I'll definitely link her below, like I'm going to link everything else. But she makes amazing patterns. Sailor Moon, Avengers, like Game of Thrones, like there's so much nerdy stuff over there. The Witcher, anything, almost anything you can think of, she's got it. And she does customs as well, but I'm not 100% sure if she's still taking customs right now or not. But yeah, I'll link her shop below. I love her. I love ordering her patterns. Stitching them is really good. So highly, highly, highly recommend her as well. And so Captain America, actually, I forgot to mention, is just being stitched on 18 count white Aida. And there, sideways. 18 count white Aida, Captain America. And I bought a Bucky pattern to go with it too, which I can't remember if I had mentioned to you guys. I think I did. So I'll start that eventually at some point, maybe next year on Bucky's birthday or something, or Sebastian Stan's birthday. I'll start that project up. So Orchid Intrigue, I think, was another one I had started a ways back. But I unfortunately ran out of floss for it, so I can't finish it right now, which is a big sad. And this pattern comes out of Just Cross Stitch magazine from February of 2015. So this is an old magazine. This is the first Just Cross Stitch magazine I ever had. And so, just as a refresher, this is what it's supposed to look like. And the thread they called for in this is Gentle Art Simply Shaker Sampler Threads Briar Rose. I've never actually heard of that kind of thread before, but I substituted it out for Mo's Sale Fall, which I had thought that Mo's Sale had finished doing floss and all that kind of stuff, but someone had told me that she doesn't do it on her website anymore. She just does it straight through Facebook. But anyway, this is as far as I got before I ran out of thread. And this is just being stitched on 14 count white Aida as well. I'm sorry for the fold. But I really like working with these threads. They're really nice. I'm not 100% sure how I feel about the heart in the center, how that worked itself out, but it's just the type of thread that it is that I use. And I tried really hard to make sure that things looked half decent in the corner, and that, you know, there wasn't too much pink in one area and not enough brown in another. Just working with variegated floss in general is kind of tricky, I guess, and things don't always turn out the way you want them to. But here's a better, you know, of the heart. So yeah, my first time really working with variegated floss, and I'm pretty impressed, pretty happy. But I have a friend that's supposed to be sending me more of this floss so that I can finish this project, but that hasn't quite happened yet, so we're just kind of waiting on that. So yeah, Mo's Sale floss, the color Fall, on 14 count white Aida. As you can tell, I love stitching on 14 count white Aida. It's just what I usually am able to get, and it's cheaper for me. So that's just, you know, what I've been working with. I said I was showing new starts, and I totally missed my other new start before going straight into my whips. I apologize. I am all over the bloody place right now. I actually have 2 more new starts that I meant to show before I started getting into my whips. The second one is actually for 2 friends of mine. My best friends, actually, who just recently had a baby. He was born... I had a piece of paper here. Where did it go? He was born on September 20th. So he's a little over a month old. And I'm just trying to get this app to work properly. Can you work properly? Ugh, please. Easy PDF Reader is a nightmare. Oh, come on. There it is. Okay. Why is this happening? Okay, you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to just close this app and use Dropbox instead. Okay, so it's called, the pattern that I started for them is called Birth Sampler Woodland Fox. And this is from Happiness on Etsy. So this is what the pattern is supposed to look like. Cute little foxes. They actually picked the pattern out themselves. I sent them a bunch of pictures and links and stuff, and they liked that one the best. So yeah, that's that one. And so I managed a good amount of progress before I started something else. And again, this is just being stitched with DMC on 14 count white Aida. So this is basically where I got to before I stopped. So most of this one little fox is all done up. And I got a couple of mushrooms in the corner. It's a really quick stitch, to be completely honest. And I stitched most of this when I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is an amazing show, by the way. I think it's hilarious. But yeah, that's what I did when I was stitching on this. So hopefully, I mean, he's over a month old now, so I should really get cracking and try to finish this maybe before Christmas. But yeah, they really enjoyed the pattern, so... And their whole theme for him in his bedroom is like woodland animals and critters and stuff like that. So that's why foxes. Besides, who doesn't love foxes? Am I right? Foxes are just so darn cute. So that's that. Now the next new start that I'm going to show you is part of my haul that I had gotten from Stitch It Central. So I'll show some of that stuff, and yeah. So the next new start that I have is a Joan Elliott. Go figure. Because I love Joan Elliott. Now which is funny because the lady I'm doing this for, I told her that I wanted her, she's the one that came with me to Stitch It Central when we went in person, and I told her, like, the whole shopping trip was just for me to take her and for her to pick out a pattern that she liked for me to stitch for her. And this lady is the lady that I do most of my dog sitting for. About 99% of my dog sitting is for this lady, and she's become a really good friend of mine. So I told her, you know, if you really like my work, I'll stitch something for you, but you have to pick it out. You have to buy me the supplies and I'll stitch it. So we agreed on that. Everything was great. So we went to London, and she took her time. She hummed and she hawed, and they had one of these actually stitched up and hanging on the wall. And when she saw it, she thought it was absolutely beautiful. And so she chose Canadian Beauty. Like, why wouldn't you choose Canadian Beauty? She is stunning, stunning, stunning. So when she picked out that, I was like ecstatic, and I was like, okay, well, let's go figure out what we need for her. We'll go pick out, you know, the threads and the beads and the, you know, all that stuff. So just so that you guys are aware of what goes into her, we picked out the beads. So we've got some 03049, which is this nice red. And then of course we've got some 00557, which is gold. Oh, let's focus. Focus. Come on. Come on. I know you know how. Anyway, gold. And then some antique beads in 03021, which is just like a pearl white. Come on. You wanna focus? There we go. So there's those. And then, of course, you know, what isn't a Joan Elliott without some fancy metallics as well. So it called for Kranix, obviously, which I substituted because Kranix are awful. And we substituted them out for Petite Treasure Braid. So we've got some PH04, which is a nice, lovely gold. And then we have PB64, which is pink. And then we have PB57, which is a nice green. So, beautiful colors. I'm excited to stitch with these. Just as I'm excited to stitch with anything that sparkles. So that's that. And here is where I am with her. Now the fabric that I picked out I think is a 32 count Lugana. But I don't know what the color name is. When we went and I got it cut, I forgot to ask her to like put a sticky note on it telling me what the color was and who it was from, like what company makes it, because I couldn't tell you. But anyways, I'm gonna back up just a bit because she's pretty big. So this is currently where I'm at with her right now. And so the fabric I'm stitching her on is like a very nice mottled gray and white. So let's get a closer look at her. So I'm doing her skin 1/1. We've got some of the fox done, and I'm trying to save the white for last because I know that stitching white can be kind of tricky sometimes. So yeah, that is Canadian Beauty. I am trying to work really, really hard. My original goal is to get her done before Christmas, but I really don't think that's going to happen. I mean, it could if I'm really quick, but I don't really foresee that happening. I mean, it could, but life is about to get kind of hectic again, so we'll see about that. We'll see what happens. But that's Canadian Beauty. Now, I guess we'll talk about whips. Let's see. I guess the first whip would be, now I don't have the photo of I don't have the original paper from the pattern with me, so I'm going to try really quickly to look it up on Google. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's not really the best. Okay. So you guys remember my Trick or Treat by Lena Lawson Needle Arts? I had started this way back. And he's mostly finished. He did not make it to a finish before this October. I meant to. I worked really hard on him over the summer, took him to work with me. I had many opportunities while I was at work to sit and stitch while doing like some light security work and stuff like that. And I almost got him done, but then I realized there was a couple places where I either missed some stitches or I was wrong somewhere. And I just got frustrated and kind of gave up. I was like, I really want this done right now. Why is this happening to me? But anyway, he is 99.9%, I mean, he's I mean, there's back stitching left and a couple of odd stitches to fix, but other than that, he's done. And I'm stitching him, I think, on like a 28 count cream even weave, just from Charles Craft. And here he is. So he is, like I said, he almost finished. He looks really, really good. I love his face. His face is really awesome. I love the way his eyes came out. His shoes. Now this part down here, let me tell you, was like the biggest nightmare of cross stitching ever. There's so many, I don't know if you can see them, there is so many tiny, tiny, tiny little stitches in there that I had to do. Excuse the cat here. But I think overall he's come along really well. And if I sat down with him for a day or two, I could probably finish him before Christmas, so that I could frame him and hang him up next Halloween. So yeah, I'm really happy with him. And I've seen a couple of other people having stitched him up, and he looks fantastic. So these patterns, while they're very detailed and a lot of work, they're very worth it, as you can tell. The detail in him and everything is fantastic. So I think in the future I'm going to, you know, go back to Lena Lawson Needle Arts for more patterns, because they're great. Yeah, so the next whip that I have, grab the iPad again because why not, is another project that I kind of put some work into while I was watching Brooklyn Nine-Nine, which is the Epic Pokemon, which I know a lot of you have seen, but just in case you haven't seen it, I will show you a picture. Of what she looks like. Let's see if I can't find a good picture. Yep, that'll do it. Or will it? Now this is, for those of you, some of you are familiar with it and some of you are not, from Sprite Stitch. That's not a very good picture. What is going on with my... My tablet was acting funny there for a second. Oh, heavens. Trying to find a picture of the whole thing. Let's see. Oh, that's all generations. I apologize. I thought that it would be a lot easier than this to find the pattern that I needed. Oh, here we go. Okay. So, this is basically it. There's the whole massive one page. It's big. And for those of you that know, I had tried stitching it a while ago and it didn't really plan out the way I wanted it to. But I started it again on 18 count white Aida that I managed to get from the thrift store. And I managed to finish a page, and I'm on the second page right now. And you're gonna have to excuse some of the dangling threads. It's kind of a mess at the moment. I did some parking on it and that. So But yes, I finished the first page and I'm working fast towards the second. So here we are. Got Dratini all finished there, working on Dragonair, Kabuto. Working with this guy right here was really hard. There's a lot of confetti stitches in him, but well worth it, obviously. So hopefully in the future I can really work towards getting him, or getting it finished. I'm really hoping that, you know, when my boyfriend's at work, I can get some me time in and get some stitching done and catch up on some of this stuff. Okay, so the next whip that I have is one that you guys haven't seen since my last video, but you did see it in my last video, which is Elegant Geisha by Dimensions. There is some progress here. Alright, so before I only had the yellow done, and now I have finished all this blue and even did the little French knots, which turned out really well, might I add. I'm very impressed with the way that this has come out so far. So yeah, very nice detail in here. I know the last time I was stitching on this I said I really hate 18 count, and that hasn't changed too much. I still really don't get along well with 18 count, but it really does make for nice projects when it's finished. Like the detail that you can get with 18 count is really nice. The delicate look to things, I do like that. And Dimensions is really good for those types of things. Now the next whip that I have is a disaster. If you follow me on Instagram, you've already seen this and know about it. My Joan Elliott Garden Geisha, or Blue Geisha, one or the other. I scrapped her. She's not in the garbage. I didn't throw her away, but I scrapped her because I was really frustrated with how she was looking, because the colors that came with the kit that I bought did not really match the picture. And you'll see what I mean when you see it. So this is what she looks like, okay? I got really far on her. And then this problem arose. This color right here, this light purple, there's supposed to be two colors in there. And the two colors are way too close to be able to see a difference. And when I realized that, I became extremely frustrated and didn't like the way it looked and gave up on her. Because in my opinion, yes, some people would just say, look, I've come too far on this project to quit now. But in my eyes, that's always going to bother me. I'm going to have that picture on the wall and it's going to drive me crazy. And I won't like it. I won't be happy with it. So what is the point in continuing something if you don't get joy from it? If it's just going to make you sad and upset. So what I'm going to do is in the future, maybe with some birthday money or Christmas money or whatever the case is, I'm going to buy the chart pack from Joan directly instead of buying the Designworks kit. And this is enough of an experience from Designworks for me to say that I will never buy another one of their kits again, because I don't trust their sorting methods and all of that. And I could have easily, you know, gone back, pulled out all the stitches, fixed it, and I just can't be bothered with that. So unfortunately, she is scrapped. So unless yeah, so I'm eventually at some point I'll replace the chart and fix that. But yeah, very disappointed in Designworks for having everything messed up that way. Like, those threads should not be that close together. It's kind of like, if y'all remember the Disney kits from MCG Textiles and the color issues that so many people had with those kits, like, it just reminded me of that. And I'm like, you know what, I can't even, I'm not even going there, I'm done. I'm like finished. So finished. So that actually concludes my whips and new starts and stuff like that. So Now we're just going to go strictly into haul, which is the larger portion of this video, if I'm completely honest. So I'm going to start with just a couple of magazines that I picked up from Walmart during my shopping escapades. I managed to grab a hold of the 2020 ornament issue of just CrossStitch. So there's a couple in here that I thought were really cute. Like there's one that this otter here that looks like it's from Frosted Pumpkin. And just a couple of the other ones look really nice and cute and easy to stitch. So I thought, you know, I don't subscribe to this magazine, but I'm tempted to think about it. Maybe for next year. Because I really do love their magazine, but half the time I don't really like to buy them if there's something in it that, like if there's a magazine and I don't see something that catches my eye, because then it's not really worth me buying it, but we'll see. So I managed to get that, and then of course I also picked up the Just Cross Stitch Halloween issue for 2020 as well, with the cute little black cat on the front. And yeah, there's some cute ones in here too. Again, some stuff by Frosted Pumpkin I think is in here, and that. So Frosted Pumpkin to me is always worth picking up one of these magazines because Frosted Pumpkin is so darn cute. How could you say no to them, right? Like, that's, yeah. Okay, and then the next thing I'm going to show you is my haul from the thrift store. Now, we here in Canada have a thrift store called Value Village. I don't know if that extends into the US or not, but I made a pretty good score at this store, let me tell you. I managed to pick up an off-brand Q-snap. I mean, yeah, this is off-brand, but you know what? It's just an extra one to have around just in case the one I'm using now breaks for some reason. So I picked that up. Here comes the exciting part. These books are like brand new. I kid you not. Brand new, and I got them for $6 each. The Magical Cross Stitch book. Yeah, who doesn't have this? $6. Yeah. And it's like brand new. There's nothing wrong with it. No highlight marks. There's no pencil marks in it. The pages all look... I mean, the book still smells brand new. Like, $6. I would have been silly not to buy it. And then, like a week later, we went back. Just because I always like to stop in there when I'm in town. It's in the city. It's like 45 minutes away. But over the last couple of weeks, I've been taking my mom to the city for some eye appointments. And I thought, you know, we may as well just go stop at the thrift store just to see what's up. Because sometimes they do have cross-stitching stuff and sometimes they don't. Like I said, I've been able to pick up bags of fabric for really cheap. Like I said, the fabric that I got for Pokemon, I managed to get for like $5. Crazy. So the next one that I bought, which like I almost cried over, Joan Elliott's Sentiments and Sayings book. Again, like brand spanking new, $6. There's not a single thing wrong with this book at all. No pencil marks, no folds in the pages, nothing. It is like brand new. $6. You couldn't buy this online for $6, I guarantee it. The same with the other one. Like, you wouldn't be able to buy them online in this condition for $6. So I am exceedingly excited about these. Because as you know, Joan Elliott is my favorite. I collect her stuff. I might not ever stitch all of her patterns, but I collect them. So I'm very excited to have this in my stash. And then I managed to pick up 3 whole kits. Full kits. I'm pretty sure they're full. 2 of them look very unopened. And the other one looks like it's been into, but doesn't look like there's anything missing from it. So the first one is a Sunset kit, which is pretty old, from 2000. So this is 20 years old. This is called Animal Shelf, designed by Stuart Sherwood. Those cute little teddy bears. Look at them. They're so cute. So yeah, I paid $8 for this kit. Like crazy. This is a retired kit, right? I'm pretty sure. So for $8, who's complaining? Not me. And another one, my favorite bears, designed by Anna Krajewski. I probably butchered that, but it's another sunset kit. Teddy bears. I know the sticker's over one of the teddy bears, but you could kind of see better in this corner. Teddy bears aren't really my thing, but I mean, you know, for $7 or $8, I'm not going to complain. And then, last but not least, Dimensions kit, Tulip Drama. I see someone on Instagram stitching this. I can't remember who she is, but it's coming along really nice, which is why I bought it. So this is really pretty. So for anybody that you know that likes tulips, or their birth month flower is tulips. I don't know if there's a birth month flower that's tulips or not, really, actually. But yeah, these 3 kits, $8 each. So, I mean, for like $22, I got 3 kits, which, you know, just this one alone probably is about that much, or if not more. So I'm really, really happy with these. And like I said, they're all pretty much sealed and have all the floss and everything in the fabric in them. So I'm really, really happy with these. Like I said, Value Village can be a great place to go sometimes. It's really great. And I've got, of course, a bag full of floss that I managed to get when I was at Stitch It Central. This is all for Canadian Beauty, so fresh threads for her, because I wanted to be able to stitch with, you know, same dye lot kind of thing, and new threads for that, since I was stitching it for someone else. What else have we got in here? Some things that I'm really, really excited about. Oh, here's another thrift store from the same thrift store. I can't remember how much I got this for, like $2, I think. A Lizzie Kate, which is my first Lizzie Kate. It's called Welcome All Seasons. Which is really cute. So you can stitch it as a whole thing, or you can stitch them in parts, and then I think it gives you an option to put like summer, fall, spring, winter underneath them as well. It shows kind of on the back that that's what, you know. So 2 different options there. I really think this is really cute. And an option for me to like kind of put it in a frame, swap, you know what I mean? Priscilla and Chelsea it. Make a magnetic board and be able to swap them out every season. That'd be kind of neat, right? So yeah, and my boyfriend's actually very good with like sewing and stuff like that, so I'm sure he can help me think of something to do that with. So yeah, very excited about my first Lizzie Kate. And then that's for the birth record. What is this for? Oh, okay. This is a bag of threads and stuff that I had gotten from Stitch It Central ages and ages ago, of just stuff I needed for projects that I had in the works that kind of still needed some things. Like my peacock still needed some metallics and beads. So I got some PB201, which is a nice pale gold. And then some PB57, which I think is like the same green that I showed you from the Joan Elliott. I got 3 little packets of beading thread. So there's, you know, 3 of these. I dropped one on the floor. So I got 3 of these from Mill Hill. And then I got some pretty blue beads in 03062, which is like a nice, like royal, they're royal blue. It's hard to tell, they almost look black here on the screen, but they're like a royal blue. They're very nice, they're very pretty. They're for the peacock. And then again, I bought 2 more packets of the plastic bobbins. And just a bunch of floss that I needed to fill my stash with. Because not that long ago I had gone through my stash of threads and stuff and kind of looked at what I still needed and didn't have any of, or was going to soon need some more of. So yeah, that's that tiny little bit of haul that I got quite a while ago. And some more. This is, the rest of this is just straight up haul from Stitch It Central when I went in person. I picked up a Mill Hill kit, And now I officially can say I've seen this Mill Hill kit stitched up because I recently have been watching Flosstube again. I just kind of started up the last week or so. And I was getting caught up with Calico and her Flossoween episodes. And she had done like all these Mill Hill kits. And I saw this one stitched up and I'm super excited about it. Now, something you need to know about me is I hate spiders. Detest them. I think they are disgusting. I hate watching them crawl around. They're gross. They're gross. But for some reason, this caught my eye. Like, really, despite the fact that I hate spiders, this is kind of cute. And I like the teal background on it. I think that's kind of really what drew me to it. I hate spiders. I think they're disgusting, but artistic spiders are okay. They're not real, so I'm okay with him, with little Webster. He's really cute, and like I said, seeing Calico having stitched it up, I'm really excited to kind of get it going. And if I had remembered that I had bought this before Halloween, I might have tried to do it for Halloween, but anyways, it is what it is. It's here and gone now, so next year. We'll try to get this done for next year. And then I caved and bought another Joan Elliott. Woo! I dropped my box on my charging cable. Oh, that's bad. Okay. Alright. I went and caved and bought a new Joan Elliott. As Joan's been very active lately with releasing new stuff. And so when this came out, I knew I had to have it, even though samplers really aren't my cup of tea. They're not really my style, but I bought the All Hallows Eve sampler, which, I mean, what about this is there not to like? You got the cats, you got the witches, you've got little ghosties, pumpkins. I mean, this pattern is just so cute. And the little alphabet on the top. I mean, yeah, like I said, samplers really aren't my thing, but I love Joan Elliott. I collect her stuff. And I did see recently that she just released a Christmas version of this, and it's amazing. So I'm really excited about that too. So yeah, my Joan Elliott. And then my next purchase is from Northern Expressions Needlework, which I know a lot of you are familiar with. Again, these types of projects aren't really my cup of tea, but having stitched the the Orchid Intrigue with a variegated floss, I decided to cave and I bought shades of blue. Now, if I'm not miscorrect in this, I think Darlene Bluebell has started stitching this, or she at least has acquired it in her stash, and I think if she has started it, I know it's beautiful because it's blue, and I mean, you know. And I also bought the threads for that as well. I went proper and bought Dinky Dye threads, guys. I spent the money on Dinky Dyes. But there's one thread I'm missing because they only had one. I needed 2 skeins of each color, and there was one color they were missing a skein of. So I got two skeins of Dreamtime. Now I don't know if I can get this to show up right. Trying to think of like a piece of paper or something that will help. They're like a very dark blue. They're very pretty and they're very soft. I really like these. So I got 2 skeins of that, and it also called for 2 skeins of Midnight, which I also purchased. So this is a very, very dark blue. Very beautiful. They're so soft. So, so soft. And then it called for 2 skeins of Sapphire, but I could only pick up the one. But this one's really pretty. Like, look at that. Look how pretty that is. That's so beautiful. But yeah, so I'm missing a skein of this yet. I'll have to order it online at some point. But yeah. And I'll have to order some fabric for that as well. I probably will just stitch it on a 14 count Aida because it looks like it would loan itself really well to just white Aida. So yeah, so that's that. I bought that as well. I kind of went all in when I went to that store. I was like, oh, I'm going to buy some stuff I've never bought before and just go crazy. So, as you can tell, blue is my favorite color. Just like Darling Bluebell. If it's blue, I'm gonna stitch it. And then my next acquisition is my very first Mirabilia. Yes, I bought a Mirabilia. Not a Nora Corbett, not a Tiny Pixie. I bought a Mirabilia. So yeah, this trip to the store was a couple of firsts for me. I went and purchased Aphrodite Mermaid because look at all that blue. Yeah, she's gorgeous. The first time I saw her, I fell in love with her, and I really wanted her. So I have her now, and she's just gonna sit in my stash and wait until the appropriate time where I can stitch her. She's gorgeous, and I absolutely love her. So happy to have her in my stash. But yeah, my first Mirabilia. This year's a bunch of firsts for me. And then when I was there, I also picked out a fabric that I thought would work really well for her. Actually, the Joan Elliott, I think, is a 28 count. This is probably the 32 count. And this is the fabric that I bought with Aphrodite Mermaid in mind. I don't know how well she'll work on it. I'll have to do floss toss when the time comes, but this is the fabric I picked for her. And I mean, this is pretty true to life. Again, like I said, I can't tell you what color this is because I didn't get them to write it down for me, but it's very pretty. It's very pretty. I think this will lend really well to her. Like, I don't think that the blues in her are going to get drowned out on this fabric at all because the outside colors of her are really dark, whereas the center part here of her is kind of a lighter color. So I'm really hoping that nothing gets too lost on here, but we'll have to see. I'll have to play it by ear, and if worse comes to worse, then I can always just use this for another Joan Elliott or something like that. But yeah, this is pretty true to life as to what the color looks like. It's very pretty. Very pretty. And then there was another, I think I went and just ordered the specialty stuff that I needed for her, like her beads and stuff. And I decided that I would wait until I'm ready to actually stitch her before buying the floss. Like the DMC for her. Some Magnifica beads here in 10107, which is like an emerald green. They look at more emerald. In real life, they don't look that emerald. They're kind of like a mossy green. And then we've got some antique glass beads in 03050, which is kind of like a rose gold, but like a pale, like not a gold. They're like a, you know, obviously not like a hard rose gold. They're like a clear rose gold, which are really pretty. And then we've got some antique glass beads in 03057, which is like a coral. They're very pretty. And then some bigger beads, the size 6 glass beads in 16603, which are kind of like, they look like they would be glow in the dark. They're kind of glow in the darky color, but yeah, got some of those. And then I swapped out her metallics again for some Petite Treasure braid and some silk lamb braid. Now, the lady at Stitch It Central told me that if you couldn't get it in Petite Treasure braid, the silk lamb braid would probably be your next best bet because it's just as thin and you get just as much sparkle out of it as you do the Petite Treasure braid. So yeah, so the PB205, which is like a really nice pinky color, like a, yeah, and then we've got the PB08, which is like just a nice blue. Look at that, isn't that beautiful? And then the silk lamb I got is like SP18, which is kind of like a minty green. And then the SP24, which is a nice pink. See, like, you still get the really nice sheen. It's very soft, but it's about the same thickness as Petite Treasure braids. So yeah, we got some of the silk, and then there's the 2 Petite Treasure braids that I got as well. So yeah, that is it for me, guys. Like, that is, I mean, like I said, quite a bit of haul, and I'm really excited about it, and I keep dropping things on the floor. But yeah, I'm really, really excited about these projects in the future, to expand my horizons and to get out there and do some things and to stitch some designers that I generally wouldn't, you know, like touch. Like last year, just even thinking about stitching a memorabilia gave me anxiety. Like I was like, no, I don't think I could stitch anything that big. They're huge. I don't think I could dedicate enough time to that, but when you think about it, a Joan Elliott is, you know, I feel like about the same size as a memorabilia. They're really big projects, so if I can nail out this Joan Elliott, then I should be fine with this memorabilia. But yeah, that is basically it for me, guys. That is everything. I can't guarantee that there will be a video next month, but I'm gonna try. I'm gonna try really hard to either start some new things, finish some stuff that I've already got going, really focus on trying to make progress. So yeah, with that being said, I've really, really missed you guys, and I really hope that this can stick and it can stay and that I can really get some progress done and that I can keep up with you guys, because to be honest, while I was gone, I had really forgotten how much the Flosstube community meant to me and how much it was nice to be able to talk back and forth with everybody and to, you know, share stories and share, you know, experiences and stuff like that. I really, really did miss it, and I, you know, kind of had forgotten how much of a big part of my life that it was. So yeah, I'm really hoping that I can keep up with this, even if I just check in with you guys, you know, once or twice a month, just to say, hey, this is what's up with me. I didn't get a whole lot of stitching done, but here it is. Like, you know, maybe if I can just check in every once in a while, I can make myself feel accountable for what I'm doing, and just really engage with you guys, because I really want to be able to do that. Because I'm really starting to come out of my shell a little more and not feel so anxious and not feel so so afraid of being judged and all that kind of stuff. So like my anxiety is really, really settled and I feel good. So yeah, I really hope that you guys have an awesome November. I know for my American friends, your Thanksgiving is coming up later this month. So for those of my friends that are in the US, I really hope you have a very happy Thanksgiving if you celebrate. And hopefully I'll see you not too long after that. Bye guys!